So I just got done with a radio interview on inothernews.com, and I happened to be outside here, and there was an ambulance, and now I just noticed we've got 2 police officers here, so I'm curious what's going on. Unlikely that they'll tell me, and I'm now in a mode where even if I approach these guys, they could beat me down and arrest me for not wearing a mask. So, we're in dangerous, evolving times here. I'm going to just do a little walk around. Some more stuff to check out. It was interesting to note that the ambulance driver was not wearing a mask. So I wanted to ask him about that, but the cops showing up. Got to be careful. Oh, here's an open liquor store. So I know a lot of people have been objecting to liquor stores remaining open. It is weird. I mean, I agree that if a liquor store is essential, certainly other things should be as well. I guess you can't go into a liquor store without a mask either if you wanted to buy liquor. It's really windy again today and extremely cold. I mean, it was warm enough the other day. It was like, I think last Sunday, people remember, it felt like it was 80. Now, I'm very cold wearing this jacket, even with a t-shirt, like an undershirt and a cotton shirt. So just wanted to give people just another view of Midtown here on a Saturday. And I mean, it's not winter time kind of cold. It's spring still. Normally at this time there would be a lot of people out. Central Park is right back there. So not really going to go walk around the park so much today. Just wanted people to have an opportunity to see Times Square heading home. Definitely tune in to inothernewsradio.com. Jeff, the host, does a great job. We had a good conversation about, obviously, COVID-19, some of the social engineering operations surrounding this pandemic, talking about the changes to day-to-day life. I mean, everything's closed, obviously. Everybody is sitting at home. Are we on the 3rd month of this yet? We had a really good show last night. Sorry about the wind, everybody. Really good show last night talking to Jared Beck, questioning the legality. That's just too much. So now I'm violating 6 feet. We were questioning the legality of some of the recent orders that Governor Andrew Cuomo has enacted essentially as law by decree. There you go. Looks like you could buy food from a food truck. I guess you need a mask still. You don't really have to go in there. But look at all these businesses closed. It's not a laughing matter. I mean, it's just everything closed. I don't know how most of these businesses will be able to tolerate this. Rent street level retail like this in Manhattan, I don't even know. I mean, when I used to rent an office, it was a lot of money and not street level retail. I think that losing a month of business or 2 months of business could easily, for most businesses, put them under. I mean, I'm not telling anybody anything they don't already know, nothing new. I mean, for me, the walk-arounds have become a little redundant at this point. We're sort of seeing what we've already seen. I do want people to get a chance to see Times Square. And then I was thinking of heading west to look at that little park next to the Javits Center. Good time to air out your Audi A10 racing down 7th Avenue. Or whatever that is, Audi, people will know what that is. That's that 10-cylinder thing. But Times Square is empty. These steam tubes are a source of fascination. I used to always really like those when I was a kid. There's apparently a network of steam under New York City that does something. I can't quite remember what. But here seems to be an independent filmmaker. Oh, he's recording the Hope. How you doing? Are you recording this sign because you remain hopeful?
Yeah, kind of. Waiting until we get some good people walking by.
What would good people consist of?
You know, the right look that have looked before, that's all.
Okay, not me. Thanks. I wonder what that guy thinks good people would be. People who are hopeful that we can wear masks and not enter stores without them. Here's the Alex Equitable building that David Hawkins and I were talking about just yesterday. Charles and I were here last week. What was this about? The French American Foundation we were talking about on David Hawkins' Discovery CSI. It was interesting to note that Bill and Hillary Clinton are members of that, Emmanuel Macron is a member of that, and that guy, Charles Ferguson, the filmmaker who looks remarkably like Neil Ferguson, the London, the Imperial College-based scientist who was the source of the original models, who violated, or as they described it, undermined the lockdown orders by banging his married girlfriend, or I should say going to meet her, or whatever it is that they allegedly did. It's amazing how they continually find ways to massage the explanations such that they can't possibly conclude that this indicates that perhaps Ferguson knew his projections were pure nonsense. In their view, it's an indication that he's just undermining the already factual determinations that he's made. I mean, in my view, it's an indication that the guy knew it was total nonsense. This is something I've wanted to show people before. Are we aware that the former logo for Time Warner Cable is this bizarre combination of that squirrel and the all-seeing eye? They've changed that company now to Spectrum. It's not Time Warner Cable anymore. Or I think Spectrum bought it or something. But that was one of the major internet providers in New York City for a long time. I wonder if this show ever came out. I saw it advertised, but it seems like it's been shut down pretty soon after. I think it came out right before the COVID-19 circumstance. So, I mean, what happens there? Somebody invested a ton of money. Those actors, maybe people moved from other states or whatever. It's also a boon for skateboarders. You can skateboard around in the middle of 7th Avenue in Times Square. I saw some article, I think it was in Canada, I forget where, but some skateboarders were arrested for skateboarding on the highway. Because, fun can't be allowed. If there's small pockets of fun to be found in this horrendous situation. The other thing we can observe is how many jackasses will make comments about not wearing a mask. It's a good study in the brainwashing of the population. You can see almost everyone in view is wearing the mask. Something weird smell over here. These guys, I guess, this construction. Ugh, God, that's terrible. Oh, what is that? What are you guys cooking in that truck? What are you guys cooking in that truck? What is that horrible chemical smell over there? Tar? Plastic? Medical plastic? Bank and plastic. So you're melting plastic in the middle of the street and I have to smell that. And that's okay, but my breath is somehow deadly. Interesting. People were objecting to these motherland signs, which I agree with. That's a pentagram, obviously. I don't know what they're messaging or who it is for, but it's another nice day despite the cold. I wouldn't mind 20 more degrees or so, but it's not that bad in the sun. So here we are in Times Square. Normally there would be a non-stop flood of cars. It's very sad for this person to be picking up cigarettes out of the street. Sorry, man. I don't really want to engage with strangers on the street. He needs help, but I'm sorry, I can't provide it right now. I think it's dangerous to interact with homeless people, and if somebody wants to provide help, there are soup kitchens that I've seen around. I'd rather give money to something like that than just hand out money on the street. Subject yourself to an interaction with an unknown person, and who knows what they'll do with that money. Here's a physician's assistant who's an NYC hero. Maybe she is. That could be. We were talking on inothernewsradio.com. We were talking about some of these viral social media videos that have been coming out from healthcare professionals and how there seem to be some strange things about some of them. We've seen doctors like Andrew Kaufman, doctors like Daniel Erickson, doctors like Scott Jensen. Their messages have been suppressed and they've been called all kinds of things, while some of the videos from some of these other doctors like Dr. Colleen Smith, Dr. Cameron Kyle Seidel, this nurse Nicole Citroak, what's her name? How you doing?
Good, how are you, buddy?
Good.
You the same idea as me?
What is your idea?
Like taking pictures of the whole thing so that we remember history?
Yeah, I thought you were taking a picture of me.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, I know it's kind of weird, but it's like people are going to get back to their phones and, like, you know, like the computers and all that stuff in like 5 years and never remember it.
I don't know about that.
I mean, they probably will, but, like, the thing is that whatever, you know, like, it's good to document it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Even if it's like fucking cold outside. Sorry.
Take care, man.
Yeah.
Have a good day. Good luck. So normally there would be, you know, shoulder to shoulder in here. There would be those fake characters, you know, people with Avengers costumes or Disney costumes here shaking people down for money. You'd have tourists from all over the world, people doing yoga, people doing gymnastics. I really just find it amazing. Almost even huge companies, like, I mean, obviously Disney can afford to lose billions, but this gift store over here, I mean, that thing has got to have to rely on constant sales to be able to pay the rent of a street level retail store here in Times Square. I mean, even a company like T-Mobile, how long can they sustain a flagship store with no business? And if these guys can't pay rent, you know, whoever owns these buildings, it's just an economic disaster based on, oh, hey, here's one of these characters. This is an interesting, I don't know what's going on right here. How is this person not freezing to death? Oh my gosh. Wow. Not sure what's going on over there. But people can see this is, I think they said something like a 92% reduction of traffic on the subway. Definitely waiting 30 minutes or more for a subway train right now, which in most cases eliminates the usefulness of taking the subway. But this is less than, this is more than a 92% reduction. I mean, this is like a 99.5% reduction. This is like someone from New Jersey stopping. Why are you stopping? Keep driving. I guess they're taking a picture of nobody being there. I don't know that people from New Jersey understand what's going on as far as driving around New York City. But how long you been working Times Square? Have you ever seen it empty? I mean, is this every day you come out? It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Are you going to be good?
All right, thanks. Am I going to be good? Was that the question? Did people hear? I mean, again, I feel like it's become slightly less interesting because we just already know that none of these cops are going to say anything to me. None of the ambulance drivers are going to say anything to me. It's good to see some people walking around without masks. I guess perhaps having the camera on might discourage some people from saying things to me about the mask or not wearing the mask, because when I was walking around before without it, almost everybody had something stupid to say. And it's scary because, that's going to be the crowd of people that are going to be behind the votes to keep you out of retail stores if you don't have the chip that tells everybody that you've been vaccinated. I was watching the James Corbett video about Bill Gates' plan to vaccinate the world, Corbett Report. And he always does a good job, very thorough, very well researched, and very good at putting together videos. But I mean, they're just everybody, even Trump. I don't know what to say. Donald Trump, this notion that he's drawing everyone, all of his enemies, into a trap, I hope that's correct, but it's becoming increasingly difficult to accept that that's going on the longer this continues. Here's another ambulance just sitting over there. We continue to not see activity that's suggestive of the need to have everybody wear masks and not be able to buy anything. But nothing's changing. It's just getting worse. Did a video last night with Jared Beck. Went into the details of trying to figure out if Governor Cuomo can legally do this. If we're able to figure out some kind of legal method to challenge it, the question then becomes, how long will that take? Probably have to go to Albany. What's the logistical feasibility of that? How much will that cost? Can you go anywhere without a mask, without getting stopped by the cops? Are you risking not being allowed back once you go somewhere? There's so many unknowns right now. Look at this. It's interesting that there's no ad on the out front billboard. I mean, I guess there's nobody walking around, so why would you buy ads? Wow. I mean, since I was a very little kid, these electronic billboards in Times Square have been a fascination of mine. It's so windy. People will be complaining about the audio. But the billboards of Times Square have gone dark. I didn't realize that was happening. There are little things that subtle things that you learn and pick up every time. Do one of these walk-arounds, constantly evaluating the status. It's interesting also to note the effort that people put into avoiding other people. I mean, that's psychological impact that's not going to go away when they open things up. I mean, this is why I say, even when they lift the ban, I just don't think that people are going to come back to things like Broadway shows and other stuff. Now, let's see here. So I guess I'm on 41st Street. I was thinking about heading over to the Javits to look at some of those, see what's going on over there. There's a tunnel there that usually kills my Wi-Fi, so let's see if we can approach it from over here. Have the masks on. See, like a store like that, how is that going to stay open? Paris Baguette, Wasabi, all these restaurants. 2-3 months of not doing business, and there's no sign. Shepard Ambellis was saying he doesn't think the lockdowns will end. I didn't believe that when he first said it, but it seems increasingly possible. This place, the comic book store, that's been there forever. I've often wondered how it could, even in good times, afford to pay its rent. I guess maybe comic books sell more than I realize, but if you're not selling any, then you're in trouble. Selling masks for 99 cents. See now, NYC law, curbside only. Dear business owner, COVID-19, what does that say? COVID-19 designations 2, esd.ny.gov. What is ESD? Essential business. This place is seeking, okay, New York Executive Order 202.6 with respect to your business function of retail cell phone sales and repairs with only curbside delivery. Business is functional as essential business. So there you go. It seems like there's some way to apply to get your, that's interesting. So it's NYC law. Certification checkbox. Times Square Photo Inc. All right. I don't know, am I doxing Times Square Photo Inc? Maybe people want to call them and do business. I'm advertising them, if anything. Ooh, Lenny's Sandwich Shop permanently closed. This is a pretty big citywide chain, and we can already see. So there's a Lenny's Sandwich Shop. Whoever was working in there making sandwiches needs a new job. Okay, so whoever is unhappy about just tune out. I don't care. Don't want to hear about it. Not making any changes because you don't like wind noise. How many pizza places will go out of business? I guess Domino's will stay. Domino's is open. There's people in there working. That independent pizza place is closed. Jack's is essential. I guess they're selling groceries and cleaning supplies. Now, Taco Bell just did a big push to open a lot of these Taco Bell Cantina restaurants. This looks like some sort of combination of Taco Bell, Popeye's Chicken, and Dunkin' Donuts. So it's obviously a health food restaurant. But this Taco Bell Cantina, I was reading something about it somewhere, that it's Taco Bell plus booze. And that's a, big popular thing. They've just opened several of them, but they're closed. I think I'm standing right next to the New York Times building right now. So I had come here. God, it's so windy, and it's only going to get worse as I walk further west. This might not be the right day to do this. And it's freezing. I think I might just go home. This is amazing wind. Too much. This subway station doesn't give us a sign telling us when the next train is coming, but it's not too soon, I can tell you that. Okay, tuck in here from the wind a little bit, perhaps. So this is a street, we're on 8th Avenue now. This is a street I used to walk on quite a bit. 21st Century 3D's office was right down here. I got a little sun now, at least. Warming me up. Pawnbrokers and stuff. That's interesting. The pawnbroker shop is open. It's mostly restaurants around here. There's a lot of offices, and during the week this is generally a busy neighborhood. Starbucks is essential according to them, I guess because it's food. They got a weird way of deciding what's essential. That brave woman in Texas who opened up her hair salon because she felt it essential to feed her children, which I agree with. That was great. A lot of hero women coming out of Texas. Sidney Powell and her history-making victory for General Flynn. Definitely want to hear more about that. Charles is going to be speaking about that quite a bit tomorrow. Could be quite a lot to come out of that. Repercussions for James Comey, Andrew McCabe. We can only hope. That's got to happen next. Here's the cops doing nothing. At least the wind has stopped. Surprised to see this totally boarded up. But all these places, the hardware store there, the lighting store there, this is very expensive real estate around here too. I mean, we're no longer in Times Square, but
Well, it's also
you know. So what? The government's going to just reimburse every single business here, every person here, every building owner who's not getting their rent? Can't help you with donuts. That guy, donuts essential? Now that's new. Hotel. Yeah, I mean, a lot of retail is leaving New York anyway. And there used to be kind of the only good sound rental place. Oh, look, here's some army guys. They're not going to talk to me at all. Are you soldiers working at the Javits Center? You guys part of Operation Gotham 2020?
What's up, sir?
Are you part of Operation Gotham 2020 working at the Javits Center?
We're not working at the Javits Center.
What are you guys doing here in New York City?
We're gonna get back to work.
What kind of work are you doing?
Medical stuff, sir.
Sorry?
Medical stuff.
Medical stuff not at the Javits Center. Okay. I don't know. Here's more army people. All they're doing is walking around. Those guys are going into a hotel, it looks like. All they're doing is walking around, going to Chick-fil-A, going to Target. What the hell are any of these army people doing here? Are you soldiers working at the Javits Center? Are you part of Operation Gotham 2020?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us what it's about?
people that got sick.
But don't we have enough hospitals to do that? Why do we need that Javits Center hospital?
I don't know. I can't speak to that.
You guys know anything about near-Earth objects? Comets? No? Because the Javits Center, it seems like it's more of a military base than a hospital. I'm not really sure we've ever seen any ambulances or patients going there.
We got quite a few patients.
Why don't you guys want to talk to me? Brown is obviously walking away, not wanting to talk to me.
We just have to go do something, sir.
No, I hear you. I'm not slowing you down from doing that, but you're supposed to be protecting the citizens and the Constitution. Staples is definitely not essential. Why does the Army need to go to Staples? Well, okay. Brown didn't want to talk at all. We need Army people to go to Staples for emergency medical paper and pens. I'm developing a pretty negative opinion of the U.S. Army, at least with regard to the way they interact with civilians who they're ostensibly here to protect. Here's another ambulance doing nothing. Look at that, there's an empty, what is that? Suitcase next to the ambulance. Could be a bomb. Excuse me. Hey, are you guys aware there's an empty suitcase right next to your vehicle there? And you're inside not wearing masks? Can you roll down the window a second? Why not? Roll it down for a second. Roll it down. I can't hear you. Roll the window down. Say again? What? Roll the window down, dude. Yeah, where's your mask? You're an EMT. You got a suitcase right next to your vehicle. How do you know it's not dangerous? Who's been over it? I can't hear anything you're saying. You got the window closed. I don't know. What do people think about this? Guy's asking me where my mask is. I'm not sitting inside a vehicle with another person. I believe the directive is if you're not able to stay 6 feet away, which I'm outside on the street. That guy is in a vehicle not 6 feet away, texting. Like all these other EMT drivers I've seen sitting around, just texting. Now here's a real sketchy person running at me. I'm not doing anything with cigarettes. Don't be running at me. We got some really questionable activity going on out here. Just a Saturday stroll. This is a post office, William Farley Post Office. I bet you can't go in there without a mask. I don't think you can go in anywhere without a mask. I wonder if you can enter Penn Station without a mask.
You gotta wear a face mask in public.
That's not correct, and it's none of your business.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not. You're approaching me. You're not wearing a mask. Get away from me.
Part-time NYPD officer. I can have your ass locked up.
You're an NYPD officer?
Yes, I am.
Where's your badge?
Go ask the fucking police officer down in Penn.
Where's your mask? What's your name? Show me your badge.
Right here.
Yeah, why don't you stick it up your ass, genius?
Why don't you get up in the fucking car and punch you in your fucking face and break your fucking guts, you piece of shit?
What are you gonna do? Where's the cops?
I
Where's?
got fucking people right out here that'll break your fucking jaw and take that fucking iPhone.
Yeah? Is that your plan? You're going out on the internet right now.
That guy right there, he's a certified brat and stuff. You ever see him? You ever see that dude right there? He'll break his fucking jaw because he said he's NYPD and he likes to...
I didn't say I'm NYPD. You said you're NYPD, you goddamn idiot. So according to Mike Zullo, I should have stood my ground and fought that guy. Mike Zullo, on the one hand, thinks I should be a vigilante and fight every insane idiot in New York City. Because according to Mike Zullo, I'm some kind of coward if a police officer walked up in that instance and allowed them to handle that guy. I'm not interested in fighting insane people. What the hell was that guy even thinking? There's a lot of very unwell people out here. Now, is this another one of these undercover NYPD things that Charles and I saw last week? Doesn't look like it, just a delivery vehicle. God, the crazy encounters out here. Whoa. Here's I guess that's Amtrak Police Mobile Command Center. I've never seen that vehicle before. I've seen NYPD have similar types of things. See, this is an area that NYPD should be patrolling. There are a lot of sketchy, dangerous people around here, making it unsafe for civilians to walk around, as people just saw. That guy's unclear if he's NYPD, if I'm NYPD, if he's wearing a mask, if I'm wearing a mask. He's just looking to start problems and steal iPhones. Now, what's going on there with ambulances? Well, I guess it's not boring. See, but look at what they've enabled. They've given these people who are prone to creating problems a blank check to harass and intimidate you for something that should be a non-issue. Where's your mask? I'm NYPD. Unbelievable. This is what life has become. I wonder if this is a coronavirus patient or perhaps just one of the many homeless people who are undoubtedly filling up Penn Station. Dirty look from that guy. Everybody wants you to wear a mask. You know, there was an article in the New York Post yesterday talking about two different Chinese kids who, I think in gym class, were, forced to wear these masks, and they died. I think they were high school age kids, and exercising, exhaling, inhaling carbon dioxide. 2 kids died. I don't know, they said that they didn't conduct autopsies, so there was no definitive determination that they died from, I guess, whatever that is, too much carbon dioxide, asphyxiation, would that be? I think one of them had a cardiac arrest. Maybe breathing carbon dioxide can do that to you. The juice shop is open. I guess food stores can apply to that thing and be considered essential, but I mean, even if they're open, no one's going in there. How many juices could you possibly sell when there's absolutely nobody out on the street except for maniacs? It's Nurses Week, National Nurses Week. That's interesting. I didn't know that. If anybody knows how to get in touch with that Nicole, what's her name? Citroac, something like that. I don't have it in front of me right now. But that woman who made the video that claims that hospitals are killing people, that would be really interesting to speak to her and get a better understanding of exactly what it is that she's seeing that's going on. Yeah, it's also interesting that people who are wearing the masks around their chins, like, what is that doing? Masking the chin definitely helps. Helps keep your beard clean. Yeah, the liquor store is open. It's funny, I haven't noticed those blinds on the liquor store before. And this City MD urgent care has been closed since the first couple days. I walked by here on one of the first videos and there is a biohazard box outside. Maybe it's not open on Saturday. It says extended hours on 14th Street, so maybe they've focused their efforts to one of their smaller places. All right, well, the wind is kicking up again. I'm almost back to my apartment here. Troubling times. Troubling times. We need the president to do something. And, it's great news that this FBI investigation is getting exposed. It seems like about a year too late. Hopefully we can do something similar with regard to Dr. Fauci and Dr. Birx and put a stop to all this. I'm just keeping this running until I get back in case anything bizarre happens. Now, this is something that I kind of can't believe I haven't really noticed before. Look at that sculpture here outside the Goodman Center at FIT, the Fashion Institute of Technology. Can people see this sculpture? It's like a ball. Could that possibly be new? How have I not noticed that before? Yeah, I've never noticed that before. It doesn't look new, but who knows? One of those things hidden in plain sight. I'm not allowed into Whole Foods anymore, so I'm digging into the frozen fish and frozen pizzas that I've got stocked away from the early days. That's actually okay. I think I still have some hamburger meat too. So I've got a variety of things to choose from. Here, stay informed about COVID-19. This is how they're informing everybody of everything on these linked whatever machines. Link NYC. Here's somebody who doesn't like red lights, apparently. What is this person doing? All right, well, that's going to be it, I think, for right now. Interesting excursion. It's becoming a high-risk activity to venture out of your apartment. I guess it's always been that way since coronavirus hit. Definitely the cure seems more dangerous than the disease. I hope everybody will tune in tomorrow for Sunday with Charles, and please become a sponsor of Crowdsource the Truth. Get on to subscribestar.com/crowdsourcethetruth or patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. Check out the huge library of sponsor exclusive content. I'll see everybody later. Thanks for watching.